This is somewhat based on a true story, but I actually was making minimum payments on my credit card. But I did have a credit card and a balance of somewhere around $5,200 at a rate of 23%, which is a high rate. You want to go for 10 or below, we'll say. Anyway, let's continue. If you don't make any payments to the credit card company, then how much will you owe after 10 years? Credit card companies are compounded daily. They're compounded daily because you're making charges constantly and you're making payments constantly, so they fluctuate. So they compound it, and it gets recorded every day, the same time every day. They apply an interest rate. Recall that this is a formula for compound interest. P is the principal, or the initial amount, and that's what we're going to put in. We're going to put it in for P, 5,200. That's what we owe. And 1 plus, our rate is 0.23 because it's 23%, and it's compounded daily, so 365 goes in for N. And we're trying to find out if we don't make any minimum payments, which if you don't make the payments, it destroys your credit. In other words, you won't be able to get loans. Your credit score gets reduced, and that's how banks determine whether or not they're going to loan you money. It's your credit score. Anyway, time is 10, and 0.23 is our, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Fix that. 365 is how many times a year it's becoming compounded, because it's compounded daily. And our output is A. So I'm going to show you how to do this on a calculator. So what I'm going to do is multiply this first, then I'm going to work within the parentheses, and then I'm going, actually, I take that back. I'm going to work within the parentheses first. I'm going to raise it to this, where when you multiply that is 3,650, and then I'm going to multiply it by the principal. I'm going to leave the numbers in the calculator because if we just round, then we lose digits and the solution becomes less accurate. So 0.23 divided by 365. Now, the rate becomes just a fraction, plus 1. So now I'm adding it to 1. And now I'm going to raise it to 365 times 10. I'm going to close the parenthesis. I'm going to hit equals. And now I'm going to leave that in the calculator. Notice how it's a very long irrational number. So if we just rounded it, then we would get an inaccurate number. So I'm going to leave it in there. I'm going to multiply it by the principal, 5,000, whoops, oh no. Okay, I'm going to multiply it by 5,200, which is our initial principal, and I'm going to click equals. And there's the answer, 51,828. So that is obviously a huge gain of around $45,000. Of course, that's not going to happen because you're going to be making payments every month. Just make sure you don't let this happen to you. Make sure you pay down more than you charge each month, or it is a slippery slope, and you'll spend the first 5 years of your 30s trying to pay down your credit card debt that you actually accrued in your 20s. And I'm going to end the video on that little piece of advice.